With respect to the oil spill incident, these islands did serve as the first line of defense, albeit in a different perspective than what's usually referred to within more of the storm context. In many respects, there was a parallel to what occurred in the oil spill incident in that the oil stranding or oil on the beach that first occurred happened on the barrier islands, and one could say as a result of that it either dissipated or reduced the level of oiling that otherwise may have occurred on the mainland and reduced the amount of oil that otherwise would have gone into the sound, where we have very sensitive seagrass beds that give rise to fisheries and other sensitivities within the bays.
Okay, well, we're on the southeast side of Cat Island, on the west side of Smuggler's Cove out here. All this beautiful marsh back here. So one of the things that we're hoping to try to see is if there is any evidence of where oil washed up into the marsh in these areas behind us during high tides, and if it was deposited there. Because that's what we see on the beach over on the western side is the deposits of those asphaltenes, that what they call pepper here, those little tar patties all over the beach. And you would find something different in the marsh here.
Removal of oil began almost right after the inception of the incident. There was some delay from the time of the blowout until we began to experience oil on the shoreline, but within approximately 40 days we began to see oil in earnest across all of our shoreline areas in both Mississippi and Florida.
On all of these islands, the BP cleanup activities have been centered around using people with scoops, these little nets that they sift through the sand, or using some sort of a mechanized piece of machinery to do it, and they use two. On Horn Island, they have these very large sand machines like they use on beaches everywhere that scoops up, cleans the top few inches of sand, those tar patties, and here they have a specially designed for this beach little, it looks like a lawnmower that you walk behind. That's a smaller version that scoops up the first top couple of inches, sifts the sand through, and those little tar patties are left on that screen, and then they bag them up and take them away. Needs to be kept in mind when you come out here is that Ship Island has some unusual sand deposits here that have some different component minerals in it, ilmenite and tourmaline, that makes it look kind of like oil. And you see that in my hand here is the naturally occurring sand deposits that, while looking more like oil than the actual oil does, are actually a natural occurrence, the oil being part of the man-made event. So there's two different black constituents on the surface here. One, this naturally occurring sand, and the other, this oil patties from the BP event.
When an incident such as the Deepwater Horizon oil spill occurs, it certainly causes one to pause and take a moment of concern. What is going to be the ultimate effect on these islands? We really did not know. I know I had horrors of going anywhere in the park, whether it be in Mississippi and Florida, on the south shoreline, looking east, looking west, and seeing nothing but a tar mat of oil. That did not occur, which is fortunate, but we still have significant oiling and impacts that have occurred to our shoreline. So we're looking at it very keenly to make sure that we respond appropriately and long-term do everything feasibly possible from a management perspective to make sure these systems function as intended and that we do not interfere with them to cause any more harm.